Hello, John. We're going to talk about Christmas. It's a very festive time of year. Can you tell us what is Christmas?
Well, Christmas is the anniversary of the birth of our Saviour Jesus in a stable in Bethlehem 2017 years ago now, which is why we have this AD Anno Domini from the birth of our divine Saviour Jesus in the stable at Bethlehem.
Okay.
So that's what Christmas celebrates and remembers.
There are many traditions for Christmas. One of them is the mistletoe. Can you explain the mistletoe?
Well, the mistletoe, I suppose, is probably a recent, when I say recent, perhaps in the past 100 years, maybe 150. And it was something that had a light-hearted sort of approach at Christmas time, so that when people visited the house, they had an opportunity perhaps of giving a kiss to some lady and hopefully a romance might start from that, because the opportunities for meeting ladies for young men at that time was few and far between, bar there was a bit of a hoolie or a ceilidh in the house. Okay. So Christmas was a grand time, and mistletoe gave a great opportunity, because these ones, all they might have had was bad thoughts, because they never got a chance for the kiss.
Impure thoughts, John. And so did John Malone of the Christian and Jobs Action Party ever avail of the opportunity of the mistletoe?
Well, for some reason or another, in our household, mistletoe was a scarce commodity. Now, having said that, I did visit one or two houses where apparently it was about.
You were propositioned.
And I had an opportunity to kiss a girl, and that kept me going for the next 12 months, because the was a scarce commodity when I was growing up.
Okay, so on to something a little bit more serious now. Can you explain what Advent is?
Well, Advent is a period before Christmas of about 3 weeks, and it is to sort of prepare Catholics and Christians for the celebration of the birth of our divine Saviour Jesus in the stable at Bethlehem, and to prepare them by way of spiritual aspect of their character, and often involves confession, or as they call it now, reconciliation. But I think the word confession was what was used when I was young, and for many years, and so I still use that expression, confession. And so therefore, during that period of the 3 weeks, if a person hadn't been in confession for a period, well, that was the time to go, so as they could go to Holy Communion on Christmas Day.
What do the 12 days of Christmas symbolise?
Well, this was subsequent to the birth of our Saviour Jesus in the stable at Bethlehem on the 25th of December, and it was up to the 6th of January when the three shepherds had come to adore our Lord in the stable of Bethlehem, and then the 3 wise men, or 3 kings as they're sometimes called, come from the east. They weren't from the Jewish tradition. They follow the star and come to adore the baby Jesus, and present gifts of gold, frankincense and myrrh, which was quite a valuable commodity at the time of our birth of our Saviour.
What do you think has changed since you were a child in regards to the Christmas festivities?
A lot has changed. When I was young, the emphasis more in this country, in any event, on the spiritual side of Christmas, and there was a lot of efforts at taking care of that by way of visiting the church, and certainly a very important aspect of it also was on Christmas Day visiting the crib. But certainly you were at confession, and there wasn't so much about the economic aspect of Christmas that we hear so much of nowadays, well beforehand. There's too much emphasis nowadays, I think, in most countries, and the economic aspects of Christmas.
Okay. Christmas pudding, mince pies, and turkey. Why are these the chosen foods of Christmas?
Well, I suppose a lot of people were kind of perhaps thin during the year because they wouldn't have eaten that much. When people had fowl and pigs and that, and they usually sold them at the market. But at Christmas they kept these. They kept a pig and they often kept a turkey or two, and so people then had this for their Christmas festivities, for their Christmas dinner, when they might have eaten very sparsely in other periods. So that's where that come from, and everybody tucked into a good meal or a good feed, as we say, on Christmas Day, and they often put on a bit of weight because we're generally speaking of a thin variety, food being scarce and money being scarce to buy food as well.
Okay. Christmas carols. Do you have a favourite Christmas carol?
I most certainly do, and it's one that one doesn't hear enough of around Christmas, and that is Silent Night. Silent Night.
It's a lovely song.
Night. That sung in German or sung in Spanish, as I've heard it, Feliz Navidad it is called, and sung in the language of the different countries, has a very uplifting quality about it. And of course Silent Night sung in English, as we've heard, and sung by some good singers like tenors. For example, Geely, who we don't hear much of, and some of the famous singers of the world. To hear that sung, and even by sopranos, is a lovely uplifting sound. Also, another hymn that I was very fond of was Adeste Fidelis.
Adeste?
Adeste Fidelis.
Okay.
That is Holy Faith. That was a very important hymn at Christmas also, and many other ones, but those are the two that I certainly have very fond memories of.
You mentioned that Black Friday you think is an affront to Good Friday. Can you explain that?
Well, I certainly can. Good Friday is a sacred day in the Catholic and Christian tradition, representing the crucifixion of our divine Saviour Jesus on Calvary. It is a very important and holy day in Catholic and Christian countries where most businesses closed, although the secular agenda is trying to displace that now. So Good Friday is very important in the Catholic and Christian faith. Anything opposite to Good Friday, by way of Black Friday, couldn't be more dreadful. It has a satanic ring to it. I understand it was started in the US. When, I don't know, but it has crept into this country, and it is an affront to the Catholic and Christian tradition and faith. It should never be allowed in any civilized country. It is a disgrace and an insult.
One of the more important characters at Christmas time, especially for children, is Santa. So my question is, where does Santa come from?
Santa, as far as I know, hops in a sleigh up in the North Pole.
Okay.
Now, what he's doing up there, I don't know, but apparently he has elves and deer or something, some class of deer, or is it hounds, or whatever it is. He comes from there and apparently visits every household. Now, when my time, I didn't know where he come from, except he come down the chimney.
Okay.
Now,
go ahead.
he looked like a fat lad. Now, how he got down the chimney, I don't know. Now, people that has no chimneys, I think maybe he comes in the window, so they have to leave a window open for him.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah. He's quite a colourful fellow as well. He's very red.
He was, yes, a stout lad. So,
Very good.
Anyway, we believed it.
Very good. And the little kids still do. So we have time, John, if you want to do a Christmas carol.
Well,
is there any particular one you'd like to do? Or?
Well, there is. I'd like to do a Christmas card, but before I do, I'd just like to read something about what we'll say Archbishop Fulton J. Sheen. But before that.
We're actually going to come on to Archbishop in another video.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
so
Well, I just read this then. Christ has no body now but yours. No hands, no feet on earth but yours. Yours are the eyes through which Christ looks compassion into the world. Yours are the feet with which Christ walks to do good. Yours are the hands with which Christ blesses the world. Now that is a kind of a Christmas what would I call it, blessing that is appropriate for each one of us as we try to go through life. Sometimes naturally we stumble, but it's a great little place to be, to try and focus on those type of things. I think it now and again it brings us up. Could I read just one more? But I have time to read one more.
I think no, we will move on to the Christmas Carol because we're just running out of time there. So
thanks.
Sorry to put you on the spot now for the Christmas Carol, but
right.
No better man.
As I say, I started now. Well, I'll give a little ditty.
Give a little ditty. You can sit down for it. It's okay.
Okay. Silent night, holy night, God is born. I just haven't got it now. Just further.
That's okay. Yeah.
I just made that.
What about the Latin one? Can you remember the Latin?
And that's David Davis. No, I'd have to.
It doesn't matter. Sure. Do you want to read out what you were going to read out? So, do you want to go ahead and read out what you were going to read out?
Right.
Yeah, because we have time.
Okay, this is something that another item that we can deal with or remember. When you feel the assaults of passion and anger, then is the time to be silent, as Jesus was silent in the midst of his ignominies and sufferings. And St. Paul of the Cross said that. It's a saying that, funny enough, registered with yours truly, because we do sometimes lose our temper, we do sometimes suffer from these items, but when we think of it along those lines, we can keep it under control as best we can.
You might want to wish everybody, all your followers on the internet, a happy Christmas.
I most certainly would, and a matter of fact, thanks for reminding me, that's very important. A very happy Christmas to all the members of the Christian and Jobs Action Party and all the followers that I have in this country and perhaps in other countries. A happy Christmas and a prosperous new year and good health as well.
Happy Christmas, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.